Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly get this?
Well, it turns out that the PC Master Race is not so awesome after all. You see, they're full of a bunch of hypocrites who seem to think that their system is the bee's knees just because they have a PC. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. The truth has come out that only 34% of Steam users run their games at 1080p. So what does this mean? This basically means that the Master Race has trouble hitting 1080p. 1080p. You know that thing that they make fun of us all the time for? Oh, PC, Xbox One, none of these things can do it. PC for life. Yeah, PC, they're supposed to be elite. They're supposed to be the Master Race. They are not a Master Race. They are actually down there below the Wii U. The Wii U has more power than most of these people claiming to be part of the Master Race. Truth is out. Now, I know they're going to get mad at me. I know they're going to start typing trigger fingers, turn to Twitter fingers. They're going to get down there and they're going to start writing all this crazy stuff. You don't understand. It's just, see, what happened was is that you all have weak PCs. You are not elite. You're not.
Now, it would be very easy for me to come out here and give you the kind of news that you would like to hear. But I'm not going to do that. Because I've got some bad news.
Okay. So let's talk about this video from who I will now refer to as StoneFraudMedia. First, not every PC gamer is an enthusiast gamer, nor do they refer to themselves as the PC Master Race. Second, the Steam survey is not a mandatory survey. I repeat, it is not a mandatory survey. So without a known sample size, how are you to make such a claim? Third, you clearly didn't look at the data properly enough because you only looked at the primary resolution. What you didn't look at also was the multi-monitor resolution. In my case, I game in 1080p, but my system wouldn't reflect that because my system is also hooked up to another monitor with a combination of one 1080p display and one 1366 by 768 display. What number you get when you combine those? I have no idea. Fourth, it's clear by looking at the data that the primary and multi-monitor display aren't a combination of the two, but rather two separate totals entirely. Because if you add up both totals, you get more than 100%. And lastly, I bet even with all these ranges of resolutions, I bet you still don't have people playing in 30 frames per second. But let's look at the primary display data. 1366 by 768. That is a total of 26.61%. Now clearly, this is a laptop resolution. And I don't know, but plenty of people play on laptops. Plenty of people have laptops laying around, more so than desktops. Me, myself, I have about 3. And they're probably playing older games or very popular games such as Dota, Diablo, StarCraft, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, some of the most popular games and most played games out in the world that don't really demand nor require a high-end machine. 5% for 1440 by 900 and 7.41% for 1600 by 900. I'm not all surprised that around 12% use displays at around 900p, as these monitors are cheap. They're less than $100. You can probably pick them up at a flea market. They are effective and they are very usable. Again, the bulk of both PC and console gamers are usually frugal. Then you have 1680 by 1050, which is around 5%. So another 5% uses this resolution. So what we have here is the following. About 27% game on a laptop, about 12% game on a resolution of 900p, the one that you Xbox One fanboys love so much. About 5% of gamers game at a resolution at higher than 900p, and when you combine the 1.6% of 1920 by 1200 with the 1920 by 1080p, you get around 37% that game at 1080p. So if we were to believe what you believe and that this survey accounts for all 130 million active, yes you heard me, active Steam users, then 37% of 130 million is 48 million users. And last I checked, 48 million is more than the combined 36 million user base of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. But then, this is just a display, and we aren't using and talking about what the hardware is actually capable of. So for you to truly push your console fanboy agenda, you'd have to figure out what types of displays people are using on their PlayStation 4 and their Xbox One. Because last I checked, you can also play those machines on a 720p display. Oh, and about the whole Wii U thing, 1280 by 720 is 720p. That laptop resolution of 1366 by 768 is greater than that. But let's look at the whole multi-monitor data. Now again, these are pools that are separate from each other. If you add up the totals of both primary and multi-monitor, you will get well over 100%. So there's no way to really know exactly how many people took the primary display and the multi-monitor display. But just for argument's sake, we'll apply your console fanboy logic to the situation. 3200 by 1080p, 8.33%. 3286 by 1080p, 2.74%. 3360 by 1080p, 3.6%. 3840 by 1080p, 28.9%. 5760 by 1080p, 2.34%. And if you add all those combined, you get around 50%, which means that over 50% of multi-monitor owners are either gaming at 1080p or gaming higher than 1080p. Because again, not everyone hooks up their multiple monitors for gaming. They also have them for other uses. For me, example, I have a 1366 by 768 monitor to my left, just so I can use the web browser or the internet or do two things at once. But I only use my 1080p monitor for gaming. So in conclusion, we have 50% plus of multi-monitor users game at either 1080p or higher, and 37% of single monitor users game at either 1080p or higher. So before you idiots, and yes, that includes you, StoneFraudMedia, want to jump the gun and push your console fanboy agenda, try reading the data, try reading the information, try using your brains. You dudes are so sad trying to defend your pieces of plastic with this fictional console war and master race crap like every PC gamer even knows what the master race is. Newsflash, you don't see people touting these 1366 by 768 resolution laptops on YouTube saying PC master race. But then again, I have a 980 Ti, but keep acting like I don't just because not everybody else has a $700 GPU.
There's that one guy, Blackbond used to say, or Blackbond, plastic. Your fanboy's a plastic. Blackbond, whatever his name, yeah, Blackbond. He said you guys worship plastic. You do. And that's fucking sad.